what I did, a huge gift I gave myself, is I took myself away for a week. Took myself away into this little cabin with this little stream, and it was beautiful. And they provided meals, so I just set my alarm for 3 times a day, and I went and had my meals. But I came back, on a Monday morning, I'd have a bath for an hour and a half. I mean, who friggin' does that? But what I gave myself is, there were no lists, there was no to-doing. I just had to begin practicing to be present, because I didn't want to do what I did last time with my brother's suicide, because I didn't know how to freaking deal with it. Whereas this time I did. And I knew that I needed stillness, and I had to be with whatever came up. And it's been transformational, because I'm not running from it. I knew that I needed to go away, because I started drinking again. I started doing coffee. I started going on social media freaking an hour, and I'm not going to get that part of my life back. I was doing these vices because I didn't want to drop into the grief.
Yeah.
So by taking myself away, it was a reset, and I did that. And then when I was there, I wrote myself some not negotiables. That was the meditation and the journaling and the stretching. Not negotiable, apart from Sunday morning.
Apart from what?
Sunday morning.
Hey. Gotta have a break.
Yes. And that sets me up for the day. And so if some sadness comes in during the day, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I can be with it. Because
can I ask, do you have a spiritual belief?
Oh, enormously.
So therefore, for you, when someone suicides?
Yeah. For me, it is the most, and I suppose it's a bit conflicting, but I'm just going to answer it. She made that decision.
Yeah.
It's the most assertive decision she has ever made in her life.
Yeah.
She did not want to be here. And yes, initially I was angry, I was confused, all of that, like friggin' heck. However, I'm at that place, it's acceptance, isn't it? Because with acceptance, I don't like it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
However, like I've got a little, she's Samoan, and so she would always, I was 10 when we adopted her, and she was like my little teddy bear. I just absolutely adored her. And these hibiscuses, she was always wearing red hibiscuses. So I've got a beautiful hibiscus on my front balcony, and I can feel the emotion come up.
Yeah. Oh, hugs, hun. Yeah.
I talk to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every day there's a beautiful red hibiscus, and she's with me.
Yeah.
I talk to her and I love her. But talking about suicide, that's coming from her. She wasn't able to stay, and I get that.
Yeah.
However, if anybody is listening to this and they're in that dark place where you feel that there is no way out, it's reach out, ask for help.
Yeah.
There are support lines if you don't want to reach out to a family member, because the feelings in you will shift. They may shift within an hour, within 2 hours. And how you felt back an hour ago, you're not going to feel in an hour. You're just not. It will move.
Yeah.
The mantra, this too shall pass. You may be feeling like shit, but you're not going to feel like that forever.
Yeah.
And so if you're in that place, reach out. Google. There are places, there are helplines, suicide lines. There really are. But also a family member, they will drop everything. They just will. A friend, somebody. Working as a therapist over the years, I've had people who are in my room in that place. And so I need to hear from you 3 people that I know that you can call on. And if you don't have 3 people, there are support lines, and I wish I'd become, perhaps in the show notes, you could put on there.
Yeah.
Because there's great resources in this country for suicide support and suicide lines.
There is.
Yeah.
And I think because that's what we need in that moment. We need that lifeline, which is
Yes.
so a lifeline.
Yes.
And
It's so true. It's like you're out at sea and the ocean is so friggin' big, and those orange buoys, we throw it out, you know. It's in that moment you're feeling that. And then that's where it's about being able to fill your esteem up, and you start with little steps. It's listening to your language. But I mean, a big thing is your trauma. You got to shovel your shit. You just have to, you know. Kinesiology. I did kinesiology, not with you. I think I've come a few times with you, but I've done kinesiology for years because I love it. Because it's not talking therapy. I actually don't have to talk. My body, I love it.
The body knows, yeah.
Yeah, so that is a really great place to start with really deep trauma. Is your body knows, your body speaks. Get out of this. Your body will help you and support you, and that's why you go to you, Madonna.
Yeah. And, you know, they did a study on antidepressants about 5, 6, 7 years ago in the States, and they found that on average it takes 6 to 8 minutes for a doctor to prescribe an antidepressant. And I think at the same time a similar study was done here in Australia, and they actually compared women with men, and women were prescribed within 5, 6, 7 minutes. Men had a whole barrage of tests done.
Oh,
so in other words, if women are stressed, it's because we're, you know, fragile females. Yes. But if men are stressed, better find out what's going on, metabolically in the body. So yeah.
It's interesting. I've noticed over the years that when people come in and they're ready to change, and that's why I call my business Power of Change, when they're ready to change, I'll ask them about the antidepressants. And it's often they've had a numb period because they've been on antidepressants. All they've done is just sort of buried it down.
Yes.
The trauma, the energy around that trauma is still inside you. You know all about that.
Absolutely. Yes. And do you do timeline therapy or anything like that?
No, I do psychotherapy.
Right.
So psychotherapy is the neuro pathway to the disturbance. So when someone appears in my room and there's some energy there, so, you know, I've got anger, I've got sadness or resentment or shame or fear. Fear's a big one.
Yeah.
It's just going into, it's so easy. That's why I love it. I've done all that other hypnotherapy and all of that, but I have stayed with psychotherapy because I use me as the guinea pig, because it really took me to another level of healing. But what I love about it, it's equipped me that when I got stuff going through me, I'm able to check in with myself and actually, how old am I right now? And I can actually name it and I can be there for her.
Yeah.
So the way I work is not to make you reliant on me. My way is to equip you with an incredible tool bag. So it doesn't matter what life throws at you.
Yeah.
You go in your tool bag and you find what is needed.
You know, I had a client that I was seeing when he was young, like 14, 15, 16 years old. And I gave him a little tool. I said, look, if he was being bullied at school, he was in a Catholic school being bullied. I said, look, you know, just visualize the person in the palm of your hand. Make them small enough so that they can't hurt you. And then do something with them. You know, shrinkle them up and put them in a bin. Make them turn into dust and blow them away. Do something with them so that they can no longer damage you and your energy. So it was something. And then this young man ended up in jail for a few years. And he was saying to his wife one day, because she came to see me, he was saying to his wife one day, well, my naturopath told me to do this little process, and he was actually doing it in jail to keep himself more empowered and more present, so that even though he was being abused and beaten up and having shit stolen from him, he was able to stay within his power for the 5.5 years he was in prison. So,
and for you, Madonna, that's why you do what you do, to empower people.
Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right that that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
That if people, do you think people know they're suicidal?
That's a really good question. I went to suicide training because as a counsellor, you've got to do 25 hours of training and I was sort of encouraged to go and do it. So I did a 2-day suicide training. Look, I think it's just a downward spiral. It's just this energy of, powerlessness. It's a heavy, dark energy. Everything's negative. Everything's gloomy. You've got no energy. You're exhausted. Your food tastes bland. The sky is never sunny. You don't put on clothes that make you feel good. Everything is yuck. And it just builds and builds and builds. And it's, when is somebody's breaking point?
Yeah.
When is someone in such a bad way? And often it's the most tiniest things that can take them over the edge. I do come back to, though, like I know now I will never, ever, ever suicide. I know that because I've got a self-worth. Have I always had it? No.
Yes.
My self-worth was in the frigging toilet. And
what's the closest you've ever got to suicide?
When my marriage ended.
Okay.
When my marriage ended, I had feelings like I've never had before, and it fucking scared me. Would I have acted on it? No. I observed it. I was a bit judgy. I was a bit horrified that I had these feelings like I had. And it was, I come back to, when you are going through a really hard time, on a pen and paper, when you're feeling logical and you got it together, you have your go-to list of what you do. You have habits. When my marriage ended, I knew that I had to get up and go for a walk when I woke up. I had to, because if I lay in bed and friggin', went to where I went, because it was 30 years and I had so much grief coming up. And so I'd get up, and I remember I'd walk down the suburbs, bawling my friggin' eyes out. And I remember out the back, it went off a dirt path, and I found this area where I found my tree and I'd friggin' hug it. Like I just instinctively knew that I got the strength, as loopy as it sounds, I would hug this tree. And I could feel the strength of that tree. Because I remember years ago hearing a psychologist talk, and he said, no matter what, how friggin' bad you feel, you move your arms and legs in the direction that is of value to you. And I value health, spirituality. And so even though my mind is feeling like absolute torturous, I would get up and I would walk and bawling my eyes out. And I knew it would pass. That was my mantra, actually. This too shall pass. So when the heaves come in, when you're around that ocean and it's rocking around, this too shall pass.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so we are all going to go through crap. I'm going to go through more crap. I get that. But as I go along, I'm getting more equipped. And I look back to what has happened over this last few months. I see us as onions. And right in the middle of the onion is our authentic self, our true self, our calling, why we're here. There's no mistakes. And so every time a life event occurs, when a tragedy occurs, you peel a layer of your onion off. Nothing happens in your friggin' comfort zone, does it? It's through these adversities that another layer comes off. So the layer that's come off with me is I want to show up more authentically. I always thought I can never fucking swear online. Well, I can because I do in real life.
Yeah.
But I had this, I've got to be this certain way. Well, no.
Yeah. And just sort of thinking about those, the stuff that people get stuck in that allows them to think about suicide, all those negative emotions, the fear and the shame and the blame and the guilt and the resentment and the frustration, all of that negative energy. It's a real dense energy. It weighs us down. So the stuff that helps us to light is thinking about, it's sunshine, it's exercise, it's friendships, it's chatting, it's it's prayer, it's meditation, it's beliefs, it's consciousness.
Love it. You don't wait till you feel better, because you're not. You actually have to move your body. And often music is a good one. Put some music on to get the energy moving.
Yeah, and especially positive energy in music. Yes. There's so much hidden subliminal stuff in a lot of the current music at the moment that when you actually watch the film clips, they're horrific. There's
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
dark
Yes.
energy in a lot of
Yes.
current music.
I'm
You wouldn't
very
know it
aware
unless you
now.
actually watch
Yes.
the video clips.
Yes.
And then you
I-
pay attention to the words and you go,
Yeah.
crap, are those the words to that song?
Yes.
It's so light and fluffy. And there's a
Yes.
damn satanic goat and blood all
Yes.
over this film clip. You know, there's horrific stuff out there.
And-
Anyway.
And a question to ask yourself, is this energy taking or energy giving?
Yes.
So I got a bit out of balance last year. I was giving too much energy away. Working with couples,
Which is no longer your passion, is it? You do it, but it's no longer your passion.
I do it. However, I'm picking and choosing who I want to work with.
Yes.
It's working with people who are coming from a place of growth, not victim.
Yes.
If you come in victim and you want to tell me your story, I am not the right person. Go and find another counselor who will do that, and they'll do that well. However, that's not me.
Yes.
It's coming from, I had a couple yesterday. I said to them, you're my ideal couple. They have got a pattern going on and they're very self-aware, but they're stuck in it.
Yeah.
But they're coming from a place of growth, and they know that they go to an altered state when they get triggered. They go to their child state. They blame, they throw mud, they act out, they're in it. However, they want to explore this and move out of this, and that's so exciting.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So really, we've got to fill up our own cups,
yes,
feel that empowerment, do whatever we need to do to start.
Yes.
Have the non-negotiables for your day. So whatever those non-negotiables are for you, because everyone's going to have it differently.
Yes, and it can change also, Madonna, over the time. What you want this week could change in a month's time. It's constantly checking in what is right for me at the moment.
Yes.
Because in time I'll get back out and do a bike ride and do some kayaking. But at the moment, my heart and soul, my body is because I'm actually listening, is telling me exactly what I need. So it's just start with 5 minutes of the 4-4-6 breathing to bring you. That'll be my takeaway. Start with that 4-4-6. So you breathe in for 4 in your nose, you hold it for 4, and you breathe out for 6, all through the nose, and that brings you into the present moment, because that's what we got. Me, here, now, full stop. So when your mind's racing, the monkey mind, and it's 10 times, do it 10 times, 4-4-6, bring you into the present moment.
Yeah.
And that will help you get into the body. It's a game changer. It really is. We aren't meant to live from the head up and to be looking outside of ourselves for people to tell us we are okay. It is not anybody else's responsibility. It is 100%.
Yes. I was chatting to someone yesterday who said the worst thing we were ever told is that there's a tomorrow.
Yes.
Because if we thought
permanent.
today was the last day of our life,
that's right.
Then we can choose, well, who am I going to make happy? Who am I going to chat to? Who can I brighten their day with? Who will I spend time with?
Love it. Love it. There is no permanences. There is today. That's right. Me here right now, connected with you. I'm present with you. Not thinking about what's for dinner and I've got to get the washing in. I'm here. And that's how we should do marriages, and that's how we should do our relationships with ourselves.
Yeah. And isn't it awful that the people who are closest to us in the world, they're the ones who often cop most of our crap?
Yes.
You know, we don't even think about that in the moment, because if you've had a hard day at work and you go home and you're pissed off, and that's the energy you're giving to your life partner or your family or friends or your roommates, you know, it's not conducive to happiness or,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I suppose the other thing, so the third thing would be to have your list, your lifeline list.
Yes.
Your people, your tribe, your people who you can ring in a heartbeat.
Yes. To put yourself first. It is okay. And to do it with gentleness and compassion. And look, I get it, because I haven't for a long time. However, there comes a point, I mean, you would know all about adrenal fatigue and burnout. I was getting body symptoms, but because my body was screaming at me. But no, I'd push and push and push.
Yeah.
So because I wasn't listening, my body was letting me know. So my beautiful body lets me know. However, it's taken me a number of years to go, okay, yeah.
Speaking of body, you recently changed your whole diet and found, gee, there might have been a gut-brain connection after all.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So 15 years of personal development, I left food for friggin' last. Oh my goodness. With food. Yes. So working with a dietitian and a nutritionist, metabolic balance, life changer. So simple. For me, I have the way to work it. You have 3 meals a day, seven days, so 21 meals in a week.
Well, that's protein. Your body. It might be different for everyone. So that's the way it worked for you.
Yes, but still your protein, your vegetables, and your salad. And for me, it's simple, but cleaned all the gut out. And so I can listen to my intuition, because if the gut isn't right, you would do so much gut work, I'm assuming.
That's
but if
right.
the gut isn't right, you can't hear your intuition. So you do listen the head up. It's all connected.
It is. It is. And the more junk food we eat, there's these super refined foods that make up 60 to 70% of a lot of people's diets.
Yes.
And what happens is that the body becomes acidic. When we're acidic, we become inflamed. Depression and anxiety and stress and trauma are linked in with an inflamed brain.
Yes.
So if you don't calm your food down, you're not going to get rid of an inflamed brain.
No. It's all linked, isn't it? It's not separate.
It's all linked. Yes. What a concept. We are ourselves, body, mind, and soul.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Any last thoughts you would love to share with people? Just like a final thought that you'd love to share.
My final thought is to be true to yourself.
Oh, nice.
If you're going through something, listen to your gut, listen to your heart, because you actually know, what's best for you. Nobody else does. Yeah, hand on heart, listen to your own intuition.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I've loved chatting with you, Madonna.
Excellent. No, that's been fantastic, Helen. Thank you so much.
Yes.
How can people contact you?
So powerofchange.com.au, get on that website. It's all on there. Also on there is the podcast, so The Empowered Marriage. If you're in a relationship, in a marriage, or you just want to learn anything new. And actually, I want to interview you, which I'll talk to you about.
Okay.
Yes, so new angle on that, interviewing people about empowered marriages and empowered individuals. So, just powerofchange.com.au.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of the Natural Alternative podcast today. Talk to you soon.
Yes, thanks. Bye.
Now, did I stop it? Okay, cool. We did it.
Oh, that was just so good. Well, you're brilliant. Now, I wasn't looking at the camera. I was looking at you. Is that okay?
Oh, I was looking at you too. So
good.
I think that's just how podcasts work these days.
And I think that touched on some really good things.
Yeah, nice. No, that was good.
Real.
It was real. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to put this one, before I get it up on my podcast, I'm going to have it on my YouTube channel.
Yep.
I'll edit the funny little bit at the beginning. Oh my God, I couldn't believe that happened so many times. Yeah. Helenison.
How long did we go for? Oh, a little while.
40 minutes or something.
Wow, nice. Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy. Anyway, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
And so you can interview me anytime.
Yes, that'll be fantastic. I've got a couple on the boil, and then I'll contact you. So I'm moving it into, it's called The Empowered Marriage, but change starts with you. So it's talking. How long have you been married?
32 years.
Oh wow, I love it. And I'm assuming you're happy in your marriage
now. Yes.
Oh
no, there's definitely been ups and downs, and funnily enough, the whole COVID thing nearly broke us.
So would you be open to talk about that?
I can talk about anything. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
No, I'm an open book. My hubby will never listen to it.
It's the adversities that I want people to hear. that you're going to go through them, but what you've done as an individual and as a couple to get through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
happy to.
That is brilliant. And I think long-term relationships it takes a whole nother level of person to have a happy, healthy one.
Yeah.
You know,
and I know you will know this, but one of the things that funnily enough, my brother Toot's a counsellor, so he was the first person I guinea pigged for my podcast, and didn't tell anyone he was my brother, but and one of the things he said to me 18 months ago when I was all deep in research with all the freaking COVID stuff and realizing how fucking evil the world is and all this damn stuff, and I was getting really snappy and angry and frustrated, and I couldn't believe that Jay didn't believe anything I was saying. And Toot was saying to me, he said, well, any relationship, because I was sitting there watching TV with Jay, but Googling simultaneously, reading all my crap, and as opposed to Jay, even though watching TV, I still wasn't even sitting there with him.
Yeah.
So there was no connection there for ages. And it was one of the best things Toot said to me. And I went, oh, right, even if I'm watching TV, I need to be there with Jay.
Yeah.
So that quite flipped things on its head. The second Jay sort of said, like, I can be listening to something that's bloody awful, all this COVID stuff, bloody awful shit I'm listening to, but I make an effort to, the second I'm not listening and Jason walks into the room, I turn off whatever I'm listening to. I give him a smile and I just, this is my life. This is my consciousness. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, it is. It's about coming back into the consciousness quickly.
And
I think I'm getting really good at that.
Yeah.
Rather than staying in that dense energy of the dense.
I'm at my happiest when I'm out of this and I'm in that.
Yeah.
But it's constantly coming back to it. And so it's slowing down.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. I think you've got a similar personality to me.
Feels like it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of full on and love life and got lots of things on the go. However, in that we lose us.
Yeah. And funnily enough, I just applied to be in a small play recently as the role of Truvy from no, I didn't get it. And Jason said to me, well, you're so damn busy at the moment, it's probably a good thing. And I thought, yeah, that's true.
A play to do acting.
Oh, just one of the many things, but I haven't for 2 years because of COVID. I spent like 6 months in 2020 and then they pulled the pin a week out because of, COVID and bullshit. So, okay. Man, anyway, I do love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Brilliant.
Well, see you next week or if you're at Janine's thing.
Yes, I will be there.
Cool.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, we'll chat then. Thanks, Helen.
See ya.
Bye.